Let's start the stream. Let's start the stream. Let's start the stream. All right, cool. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, all year, coming with another wonderful episode of Loungin. We are chilling. It's Friday again. We're hanging out, but I'm not alone. I have NERDSoulite. Say what's up.
Yeah.
And Lady Lisa, say hey.
Hey, y'all.
All right, cool. So, we've had a heavy week since last week. So, I want to start by saying, one, thank you for watching. Thank you for coming through. There's nothing wrong with being sad. There's nothing wrong with being numb. There's nothing wrong with being angry. There's nothing wrong with being a mixture of all those. We've got to fight. There's nothing wrong with taking a break from the fight. There's nothing wrong with being weary from the fight. There's nothing wrong with needing some rest from the fight. But we've got to fight. And I know that's going to be tough, and all of us have different ways to fight. But we've got to fight. I want to give a shout out to Markeith Collins in the chat. A shout out to Alan Lewis in the chat. I want to remind everyone who is watching now or even watching the replay, tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we will be doing the Rent Party. That's right here on the channel. Black comics, hip hop, cosplay, all that jazz. We're going to have a lot of fun. I cannot wait to do it because I can't wait for y'all to see it. We've done some hard work. And when I say we, Jason Reeves of 133 Art, Quinn McGowan of Legends Press and Operation Wildfire, they have done some amazing work. And we'll say thank yous tomorrow. But there's a lot of cool stuff in store for y'all. I know there's some heavy things going on, but we gotta be able to juggle a little bit. And I know in this case we're gonna move through it. This is tough, and I know we got a lot of people coming in. Boogsworthy, what's up? Alan Lewis, I know. Keep on hitting us up. We'll get to the chat in a little bit. I wanted to start off, if it was okay with you, Lisa. Kenneth Walker's 911 call was released. So following up from the the horrible loss and the murder of Breonna Taylor, we finally get the 911 call. And we remember that we were told that even though it was a no-knock warrant, that they said we identified ourselves as police. Listening to that call our souls have just been crushed this week. And I salute all of you black people that are with us. We all going through the same stuff, just figuring out how to get through it. But this opens up and illuminates what really went down. Because in the call, you hear Kenneth distraught, somebody just came in shooting. No, we gotta sit down. So, came in shooting. And he didn't know what was going on. And that provides a lot more light into the lie. Well, we knew it was a lie in the first place, but to the lie that we were told officially from them. And I hope this goes far to getting legislation enacted that will get rid of no-knock warrants forever. No, Mikey, nah. We gotta chill. So, there was no reason for the no-knock warrant. There's no reason for them, especially in residential situations like this. And I hope this call, even though it's heartbreaking to hear what he's going through, to hear him crying, to hear him distressed, and to hear how almost unaffected the 911 dispatcher is.
She
you know, I was annoyed listening to that because she asked him his address about 3 times.
Yeah.
She asked him how old his girlfriend was at least twice.
Yeah.
She asked him if he knew where she'd been shot about 3 times. The first time he said, I don't know. The second time he said, I think in her stomach. The third time, I don't think he answered. And it's like, you weren't listening to him because he said, I think she's shot in her stomach. And the third time she asked him, could he move her on her back? And I'm like, I'm not a medical professional.
Yeah,
but
I can't be doing this.
I don't think that he should be moving her.
Not like that.
Not like that. And it was granted, I understand that they are trained to be calm, and of course they have to be, absolutely. But when you have someone that's calling and they're distraught, you need to be careful to listen to the answers that they're giving you so that you don't have to repeat yourself over and over again asking them the same questions. Because
it also, there's a difference between calm and almost uninterested.
Yeah. And I really don't care whether she was uninterested or not.
No, but I'm just saying, she didn't even sound like she was. It sounded like she was just going through the motions. Like, yeah, where's the address? And she didn't even care. And this guy is on the other line.
Yeah, and in all fairness, like I said, it may be, I don't know. We don't know this woman. We don't know if it was her first day. We don't know if it was her 1,000th day.
I don't care.
You know, but the thing is, it may be a thing of you take these calls so much, you do get numb. So I don't want to say she didn't care. She sounded, disinterested, but I don't know.
And VV said dismissive. What's up, VV? Yeah, what's up, Solar Grace?
My concern is more so about how she had to she repeated the questions to him several times. This man was clearly distraught. It was very hard to listen. It's heartbreaking to even talk about now, let alone to listen to. And at one point when he was calling his girlfriend, Breonna's name, he said, I heard him say, "You're all I've got." And I was just done. I was just crushed. I mean, it's just, I'm mad and I'm hurt.
Yeah. And this isn't the good, I can't believe that I'm saying the good thing, but the good thing about this is that usually in these cases, there's no one but the cop and the dead person.
Right.
And in this case,
there's an eyewitness.
There's an eyewitness, someone who was there, and a recording of their initial, heat of the moment, emotions and interactions. So now it's going to be a little tougher.
Yeah,
for this story to just kind of go away.
And the fact that in the 911 call, he said someone came in and shot her. He didn't say police forced their way in. He didn't say an officer. He didn't say any of that, which means that they didn't, announce themselves as officers or as police or any other thing. Because otherwise, why would you say someone? And also, I'm not sure, anyone can correct me if you know, but if there are police officers that are going in to do this, there are different units that will know about this. So the 911 dispatch would already know that this was going on at this address. You get what I'm saying? Because they all communicate.
Well, remember, the real address was like 10 miles away, so she might not even know.
But was it that the real address was that far away, or was it her address and they were saying her address was attached? Somehow they were coming to her attached, because I don't know. It's just
yes, Eon, we're talking about Breonna Taylor right now.
Yeah.
So, that's the update on that. Hopefully we can use this momentum, and I hate to say that, because I'm not trying to use Breonna Taylor as a prop. I'm not trying to use Kenneth Walker because I don't want any of this to happen. But I hope that we're able to get no-knock warrants gone with this type of stuff. And I mean, we'll keep following it week to week and see what goes on. But that's sort of what we know now. I do want to go to the chat. Solar Gray says the 911 operators don't get briefings on each report that the cops initiate. Word. And let's see, on Solar Gray said there might also need to be more public outcry as well. So we'll see how this plays out. It's tough. It's tough to continue to just be as us, as black people right now. It's tough for us to just be, to just exist right now, to just operate on a day-to-day. Between the anger of what happened, between the fear of actually going anywhere, between, there's so many different things that kind of go through our minds. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, man, I don't even know if I want to go out because of this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot wrapped up in kind of like what we're going through, but we had to update it. Now with that said, shouts out to Jamal Lee. Great to see you here. We're gonna get into the newest story, unfortunately, that shouldn't be. I wanted to say rest in peace. We've said rest in peace to Breonna Taylor. We are saying rest in peace way too many to our brothers and sisters.
And can
go
I
ahead.
say to that, because I was thinking about that, and I know that's the common thing to say, and part of me feels like I don't want to say rest in peace, because part of me feels like I want you all to haunt all of us. In terms of that, I want your spirits.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I want your spirits to haunt us. Until something changes, until the powers that be make the changes that need to be made. I want your spirits, I want your memories to haunt all of us, to remind us to get up and do whatever it is that we can and need to do. And again, the powers that be to hold those that are in power accountable, because it's not an issue so much as changing the law if you're not enforcing it.
Yeah.
If you're not enforcing the law and you're not holding those in power accountable, it's just a piece of paper.
Yeah. Okay, so with that said, George Floyd was murdered by police. A white man murdered him. An Asian man sat there and watched it go on. All of it was recorded between security footage from stores and first person account footage. We saw pretty much the whole encounter. The casual evil for that man to stay on his neck that long when he was begging for his life,
with his hand in his pocket,
as people were also pleading for him, is
evil.
It's just evil, and it's disturbing.
It's evil.
And I would, before we go into the protest, I am glad that there are people expressing themselves, getting out, protesting, because we ain't got no other choice. Now this man, we found out more that they used to work together, or they used to.
Well, I wasn't going to mention that because I couldn't find that confirmed anywhere.
Oh, okay, never mind. Then yes. I won't mention that. What hurts the most is almost the false surprise from people in positions of power, from government to mayors to other police to, like, I'm so shocked. I can't believe this. Oh, no, not this, blah, blah, blah. Policing is almost completely born out of overseers and slave catchers, and it's almost completely born out of that. So in America, it's almost completely born out of that. The FBI has done numerous reports on anti-blackness and racism found in police departments all over the nation. These situations we are seeing, it doesn't matter whether you got a hoodie or got a $3,000 suit on. Doesn't matter if you're in your house or in school. There's no need to be surprised.
Yeah.
This is what I'm teeing this up. Black people, you don't owe any white person or any anti-black other race anything. You don't owe them an argument. You don't owe them an exchange. You don't owe them the knowledge. You don't owe them the history lessons at all. You owe it to yourself to stay sane, to keep your soul, to keep your mind right. And what will happen is people will gaslight you and us into arguing into the black hole of nothingness, driving ourselves crazy, wondering why can't they understand? They understand. They see it. They are not stupid. You do not owe them anything. You do not owe them your time, your energy, or your argument. If they say dumb stuff, move on. Just move on. You ain't got to mute them, block them, nothing. Just leave. Just leave. Just move on. Because right now we don't have time to worry about babysitting, giving history lessons. It's time for us to galvanize our power, to work together, to heal each other, to get ready to continue to fight.
And can I
go ahead?
This is something we talked about. I think yesterday, Michael. It's like black people, and everyone really, but black people. Yeah. We need to understand that, we need to, like Michael was saying, we need to stop trying to explain things to people, get them to understand, because this is the basics of it. Long time ago, the police force was formed with and infiltrated by white supremacists and the KKK. That has carried on. I think it has fluctuated, but it has carried on through the years. And so what has happened, what is showing now, is those white supremacists and racists that are in the police force, and people that are higher up are also in the police force, and that's part of why these officers are allowed to do what they do. So it's not training. I get so tired. It's not that they need more training. It's not that training to not kill somebody. It's not that they need more support. It's not that their job is so hard. You are evil and you hate black people. Period. There's no, like Michael said, there's nothing you could do. You can put on the most expensive suit you want. You can brighten your skin until it fall off. You can talk complete proper English. You can graduate from Harvard, Princeton, Brown, anywhere you want to. It doesn't matter. You're black and they hate you and they want to kill you. Point blank, period. No other conversation, no other argument. Now, once you get that understanding in your head, we'll stop wasting time going over, but they complied. It doesn't matter. They didn't care if you complied or not. The compliance. Look, we see the video with George Floyd. He wasn't doing anything crazy. He was sitting there. And the officer that killed him was determined. I don't know if it was earlier that day. I don't know if it was 5 minutes before. But at some point, he decided, I'm going to kill this black man today. He decided that. It was nothing anybody on the sidewalk could say. It was nothing anybody George Floyd could say. It was nothing any one of the officers could say. They won't say nothing anyway. But it was nothing anybody else was going to say to him to change his mind. When he put his hands in his pocket, he decided, I'm going to sit here with my knee on this man until he dies. And I'm going to chill until he dies. Period. Now, I want to touch on Eon 001. I'm glad you said that. He said a few weeks ago, Asians were begging black people to support through the COVID discrimination. Now silence, no surprise. Let me be the first, hopefully, to let you know. Because it seems like ain't nobody saying it for real. Asian people as a community, I know there's going to be one or two be like, I'm down. As a whole community, are not looking to help you out. Now, they are looking to jump and ride the wave on your work for civil rights or whatever it is. But they are not looking to speak up and speak out for you. Do not be surprised. They never have. They have also bought into white supremacy, believing that they themselves are above you.
And they monitor you just like white supremacy monitors you. And they operate as if you are beneath them at many levels. Now, I know there's going to be people coming in here. Oh, well, me and my friend, we like black people. Great. I'm glad you two do. For the other millions or whatever, they're not too keen on us. So excuse me if your 35,000 zeros, 1% are down for us. I don't have time for it. I'm not interested in it. I'm not even going to entertain that. So I want to talk about the people that were there and the power of policing and what I think is slowly changing. The people that were there were too scared to do something to the police officer that was killing the man in front of them. Rightfully so. I understand. They got a gun, you don't. You know what I'm saying? You got stuff to lose just like everybody else does. Your mom, your sister, your son, your daughter, whatever, wife, brother, boyfriend, whatever it is. But I do like that we are starting to see people breaking out of that fear. Here's why. Police in general are the only real, or I guess maybe the first line of defense in protecting white supremacy, because they use force. They scare you into, we can lock you up. We can literally put you in bondage. We can scare you. We have guns. You don't. We have a badge, blah, blah, blah. Now that people are starting to rise up against that, we have an opportunity to actually change the mindset against whiteness in America that has generally sat in a place of comfort because they're like, yo, we got the police. What you gonna do? And in general, we haven't, because I mean, yo, it's a gun, man. Don't nobody want to get shot. But I think that now we are starting to recognize and realize that power to the people is always stronger than power to the police. Now, the mental trick of keeping you scared, of course, is real. You know what I'm saying? But we've seen over this week, power to the people is strong. How we use that power is important, but the power to the people is strong. And we got people taking notice, so much so that they are locking up people at CNN just for filming the stuff.
Yeah.
You might wonder, why are people from CNN getting locked up? Because I don't believe they want people to see how people are rising up. And I am...
Well, you know, the other, like I said, the other part of that is because they just wanted to take away the black man. Because, you know, again, there were two reporters from CNN, or I'm not sure if the other one was from CNN, but I think so. There were two reporters, okay, that were there. One was white, one was black.
Yeah.
And they both showed their credentials to the officers to let them know that they were journalists. Mm-hmm. They decided to focus on the journalist who was black.
Yes. And
left the other one alone. So that was very blatant. Now, I do think part of it is because they were trying to, you know, get them not to report. But if it was all about not getting them to report, they would have arrested both of them.
Yes.
Right? But they only arrested one of them. The
reason I'm saying that is because then, again, in Atlanta, you have the guy getting arrested. And he said, why are we being arrested? He was like, I'm just following orders.
That's the CNN guy.
Oh, that was the I thought that was another person in Atlanta.
No.
Excuse me. Sorry. No. So that guy, if he's just following orders and he doesn't really have a thing, what does CNN do? What do they do? Do they make cookies? Do they make socks? They report the news. They show what's happening to millions across the country. Why would you want them not to show it? They're just news people. They ain't setting nothing on fire. They ain't throwing no bottles. So why wouldn't you want them to show that? They don't want to show black people taking their own power in their hands and fighting back for a change. Here's some things that I want us to get out this fight. These officers need to be charged with first-degree murder. That third-degree stuff ain't gonna roll with me.
Third degree means I killed him, but I did. Third degree
ain't gonna roll with me.
Third degree means I killed him, but I didn't mean to. Yeah. Now I understand what Solar is saying, and I understand his point. He's saying he's hoping they don't overcharge them because that's the best way for them to get off. I agree with that.
Yeah, true.
I agree with that.
But then undercharging is kind of it. You know, but I feel where you're going. I feel where you're coming from.
Because then, you know, if they do get charged with and convicted of murder 3, how much time are they really going to serve? And then on the other hand, you could say what's better than serving no time. And I'm kind of like, is it? Because then if they serve a little bit of time, that's a slap in the face.
That's right.
You know, so it's not. You know, we're just in this predicament. I don't know.
We're on a move, and we need to start moving forward and starting to enact our plans. Plans as, what do we want? We want them up for murder. We want them convicted. We want them to serve real time. And when I say real time, I'm talking about 25 to life. That's it. Full stop. I don't want to hear no 3 years, no 5 years. That's the first thing we want. I do want a complete overhaul of the police in Minnesota, starting there and then following through the rest of the nation. I know that's a lot harder to get. I know. But we need to keep chanting it. We need to go prosecute the police. If we continue to prosecute the police truly, not with this like penny stuff, like, oh, well, you know, it was aggravated assault. No. If we continue to push for prosecuting the police, whenever this happens, when we set stuff on fire, we got to keep moving. Now, to the moment, to the thing I want to talk about. Well, I do want to say, Eon 00 said, wow, that was mad. America is turning into a dictatorship, locking up reporters so brazenly.
We've been there for a minute.
I'll say this.
We've been there for a minute.
We've been moving towards some very interesting waters in the most recent administration. With tweets, and not just from this week, with tweets in general, with what has been allowed to go on, with what people have gotten away with what has gone on with the press from the government, we're sliding into some very interesting waters. So, dictatorship, I'm not going to say no. I'm going to say that I think we are watching someone or some people slowly peel back the freedoms we enjoy in front of our face. Slowly. But I'll leave that alone for right now. Solar Gray says, number 1, disclosure of procedure and training. 2, psych evaluations of all police officers. 3, into weight training under penalty of termination and employment. Yes, I'm definitely down.
I'm going to add another one. Thorough research of previous activity and possible affiliations with racist, xenophobic, whatever.
Because we found out this dude had like 18 other complaints.
18 complaints.
All right, let me ask you, on your job right now, unless y'all, work from home, or, I mean, not work from home, but work for yourselves, at your job, are you going to get 18 complaints and still be working there?
No.
Interesting. I wonder if we ran down these 18 complaints, I bet you they all from black people. I bet you if there were 18 white complaints, he would not be on the force.
He would not.
Bet good money. Let them complaints come from Beverly Hills. But those complaints are coming from Compton, so it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Now let's go further on the protests. People talking about the fire, they're burning. Oh man, the burning's so bad. Violence is not the way. It's interesting that violence was the way when you got what you wanted. I'm talking about you, white supremacy. I'm talking about you, white people. It's funny that violence was the way. It's historical. It's glamorized. For anyone who hasn't looked up, the Boston Tea Party wasn't a party. There wasn't a jazz band there. When you wanted what you wanted, you fought for what you wanted, you killed people. There were some of the bloodiest battles Oh, you set things on fire. It was all good. Those are heroes. Now all of a sudden, oh no, fire. Oh no, you can't. Oh, you don't want to break things. I said on a podcast probably a year or two ago, I said the government better fix the police or the people will fix the police. And when the people fix the police, things are going to burn. I said that. No, I'm not a smart man. No. I ain't no science major, no NASA physicist or something. But I know.
You're not a social scientist?
I'm not a social scientist either. But I know what's going to happen in these times. So now things are burning. And now you want to cry about it. Black people, let me tell you. Don't let anyone trick you into not fighting for what's yours. Don't let anyone trick you into not fighting for your own dignity and respect. I am not here to play games with you. I love you, family. Y'all great. We cool. Don't let nobody trick you into not fighting for what's yours. Don't let them do it. Don't even let them try. You deserve, you are owed being able to not be killed in the street for nothing. Do we even have a charge for why they had him in handcuffs? Do we even know why? Do we even know why George Floyd was accosted? Do we even know that?
And that's the thing. We haven't even.
So we don't even know.
We don't even know.
Interesting.
It would be interesting to see what's on file about that.
Here's the deal. Until you can respect us in all places, until you know how to greet us, how to handle us, how to engage with us, how to interact with us as police officers, keep it burning. Burn down those police offices. Burn down those precincts. Tear up those cop cars. They weren't built to help you no way. So what is that? Oh, they're tearing up AutoZone. AutoZone ain't mine. Don't nobody at AutoZone care for me. Oh, they're burning Target. Target ain't mine. Target ain't got nothing to do with me.
And it was, and I forget who it was. It was an official, I believe, in Minneapolis who was saying, we cannot have this looting and burning. Funny, because I didn't hear you get up and say we cannot have police officers murdering people.
Thank you.
You skip over that.
Say
and
it
you go straight to we cannot have burning and looting. No, we say to you, we cannot have you continuing to kill us. When you address that, then we can talk about the burning and looting. But until you address that, you can miss me.
It's interesting.
And it's funny too because you and I disagreed, in terms of whether that's something we should be doing. And my thing is now, as we talked about it, it's like, you know what? It doesn't even matter because we're all expressing it in different ways. Yeah. And it's true. The powers that be, they only respond to violence and money. Mm-hmm. And in looting and setting fire, they're responding to both. And they did not arrest that officer until after the police precinct was burned down. Then all of a sudden the skies open up and they're like, you know what? I think we might need to arrest him.
Look at their history. They respond to violence and money.
Once again, what you say, when did he get arrested? After they burned
the police precinct. After. Interesting. Won't nobody gonna get locked up at first. It was all good. Then the heat came. Now all of a sudden you messing up their money. Black people don't own Target.
Go get a diaper.
So here we go again with the flim flam. We just need to protest better. We just need to protest different. I know about a man who got down on one knee. He ain't saying nothing to nobody. Was quiet, minding his business. And someone said to get off the field and fire all of them. So So I can't do a protest that's quiet, right? Okay. So no quiet protest. So then, all right, well, let's march. Oh, we don't want you to do that. We don't want you to march. No, not at all. Marching would be bad. Okay, well, let's have a sit-in. Oh, well, you shouldn't do it like that. Black people, do what you got to do to be free. Because no matter what you do, they ain't gonna like it no way.
And they're not supposed to like it. If they're standing on your neck and they're killing you, they're not going to like it. It would be weird if they said, you know what, this is acceptable. This is an acceptable way for you to fight against me as I'm trying to kill you. That's not going to happen. It doesn't matter because they want to continue to hold us down and kill us. So they're not going to like anything we do.
Yeah. People that are on the front lines, I am not here to chastise you. I'm only here to say thank you for getting this ball rolling and keeping the fight strong on the front lines. Now, people that aren't on the front lines, like myself, we got to keep lifting them up and talking about it. People that are in the system, law, we need y'all to get y'all butts to work. If you black and you a lawyer, you need to get to work. If you black and you a senator and you want any of our votes from now on, we need to hear your voice right now. And it don't need to be like Ilhan Omar talking about violence doesn't solve anything. Really? It doesn't? Violence seems to solve a whole bunch to get this country going, to make it the most powerful country in the world, arguably. Violence was great to get that going. Oh, violence got results. Now, violence isn't the way. Ilhan Omar need to get up out my face. I don't want to hear nobody talking about violence ain't the way. We've marched. We've sat. We've prayed. We've sung. We've kissed their boots. We've begged. We've written laws. We've done everything you could try to do. I don't want to hear it no more. There ain't nothing left. It's violence. Unless you want to get it right. Now, with that said, yes, Boogsworthy demilitarized the police force. Police force, too many of them think they on a TV show in SWAT.
Well, but this is the thing in saying.
Go ahead. Go. Nah, finish your thought.
Okay, this is the thing in saying that. Ironically, any.
Go and do your thing. Go and do your thing. Handle your biz. So here's the deal with. Here's the next place I want to go with the protest. There's yeah. Thank you. Solar Gray says it perfectly. If violence doesn't solve anything, then why have we been in the Middle East since 1991? Did we go over there? Did we send our military over there with nothing but cupcakes and Bibles? No, we sent them over there with boots and bullets. Oh, but what you're going to tell us is, violence. Keep the pressure on. Now it's time for phase 2. Phase 1, don't stop. Keep that pressure on. We need to stay up and in their face. Next, this is what we want. Demilitarized, no not warrants, gotta go. Psych evaluations gotta go. Anyone with any history of anything from FBI stuff and investigations, any text messages with black this and black that and all that, they gotta go. Fired immediately. Oh, well, there's no one left on the force. Too bad.
And this is the other thing, is they need to be more careful. Well, I don't say be careful because what they do it carefully.
Yeah.
What needs to be done is those that live in your community need to police your community. There should not be police officers that live in Beverly Hills that come and work in Compton. You need to have officers that live in the community and work in that community.
Yeah.
That would solve a whole lot of issues. A lot of issues.
Yeah.
And I believe that needs to be across the board. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense if you ain't got something else.
If you ain't put in on this, don't come in here trying to tell us how to live our lives.
Because not to mention, you know, for so many reasons, and if you live in that community, you know the community. You get to know the people in that community. You understand what the community needs. You understand the issues in that community.
Instead of treating that community as other.
And you have invested in that community because you live there. You have a dog in the fight, if you will. So you want that community to thrive, which means you're going to behave differently because you live here. When you can, come to a community, turn it upside down, harass folks, arrest folks, and then go home, you don't care what you just did.
Of course, it's great. So, with that said, I want to talk about, and I do not want this to become an ageist conversation. I do not want this to become an ageist conversation because I think that white supremacy has injected ageism and gender wars into our conversations too much to where we get diverted and we ain't fighting for what we're supposed to fight for. There was a young man that was interviewed, and he was passionate, and he was just talking about what they need, what they want in Minnesota. And we seem to have a whole bunch of older black men and women or black leaders or, older black leaders that have so much to say about how these young people should and shouldn't do it. You did what you had to do. And you moved for the historical civil rights. And you did it the way that you needed to do it at that time. And I'm sure you had opposition as well. But you did what you had to do. And you got your results. Shame on you for looking at these young people that I would say en masse has been left behind by people that are your age group and age range and your generation, and telling them how they should react or how they should protest. You protested how you needed to protest, and we thank you for that. But somehow you think you can become the gatekeeper of protest. Are you kidding me? So now I got to get this from you? This is the perfect time for our older contingent, our middle contingent, I guess, whatever, and our young bulls out there in the street to come together and figure out what we want, where we gonna go. This is not the time to be trying to tell them how to do what they're supposed to do. How traumatized must a young man be? And I can't remember, he never said his age. Let's say he's 19-ish. The pressure that I deal with myself, I can't imagine the pressure he's dealing with. He's even younger. Meaning that he's less well equipped with wisdom to be able to handle all the emotions and all the trauma that he faces every single day. But now I've been there, social justice warrior, civil rights leader. Now you're going to sit back in your armchair and say, oh, you shouldn't protest like that. You should do it like this. It's sad because they need you. They need you. And it would be so wonderful to see you out there alongside them. So wonderful out there speaking for them. So wonderful out there helping them organize. Because right now they're just angry and they don't know what to do. And they're hurting. They're hurting. And you left them. And then you spit on them in these interviews on CNN or TMZ or whatever it is. Shame on you for that. This is the time when we need y'all most. This would be the perfect time for us to throw out. Get rid of it. Because we black and we fighting. But nah, not for y'all. It's time to sit back and tell y'all, oh, y'all need to do it. Y'all don't know how to do it. Y'all ain't doing it right. Violence ain't the way. Tired old rhetoric of something that worked then, but doesn't mean that it will at 1-to-1 ratio exchange rate work now. And maybe if you sat down with them instead of trying to get on camera and said like, yo, look, I don't like how y'all doing this, but what's going on? What y'all need? How can we work this out? How can I do what I can do for the people that's my age group? How can I speak to the legislators and the whatever? Because I'm too old to be out here in the street. I'm too old. I've been there. But that doesn't mean I can't do nothing. Who can I educate? Who can I leverage my power with? Who can I
will say in all fairness, and we talked about this earlier.
It's frustrating.
I will say in all fairness, you know, these leaders of the day, they have gotten older. We saw, you know, Jesse Jackson came on with, I can't remember who he was on with, but Jesse Jackson came on, and we had talked about before. I'm like, where is Jesse Jackson? Where is Al Sharpton and all this? Yeah. And I saw Jesse Jackson, and I was really shocked and really, you know, felt ashamed for thinking, you know, oh, he's just abandoned us. Well, very clearly, Jesse Jackson has had at least one stroke. You could tell by his speech and tell by his face that he has had at least one stroke. And so, you know, health-wise, he's not well. He's not physically well. He may not be mentally, you know, all that well to do this. You know, you know, over time, you know, they get tired, and to be fair, they've put in their time. You know, they've given their lives. Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, John Lewis, all these men, they've put in their lives. They've risked their lives. They've, you know, risked their families and whatnot to fight the fight. And it's time for other black leaders to step up and be major leaders. Those that are out there, you know, they have to step up and make their, you know, their presence known. I understand what you're saying. I think they are stuck in saying, okay, we were able to get civil rights by peacefully protesting. And just because peaceful protest was what was used to get that done doesn't mean that's going to work from here on, because it's not. And they played for the long game, and it worked. We can't afford to play for the long game, because how many of us are willing to die for the long game, to peacefully protest day in and day out like they did then? It's you know, it's just different. It's just different now. It's very different now, and we just need some new leaders to step up, because they've gotten older. You know, they won't be here with us much longer. They're you know, they're tired. You know, they're worn, and they've earned their rest.
Yes. But you know, Solar Gray says, what was won with peaceful protest is being dismantled with broad language. And then Eon 001 said Joe Louis told John Carlos he shouldn't have put up the black fist in the Olympics.
John Lewis, sorry. The older generation are quite simply out of touch. And I understand when you get older, you're just not in it like you used to be, because you're not supposed to be. But instead of just immediately trampling on it, what you need to do is just pull some of them aside and be like, yo, what's going on? Because I don't understand. Like, I know I don't want to see black people dying, but what's going on? What y'all need? Yeah. How are y'all doing this? Instead of just getting on and being like, oh, well, violence ain't the way. Because let's be real about this, and you and I have talked about this. There is a time to sit and to pray for your enemy. Yeah. And there's a time to go in the synagogue and turn over tables.
Yes. There's definitely a time for both. This ain't that time. This isn't the time to sit and pray. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there aren't those that should be praying. But we got our people out there fighting. We need to lift them up, because they're on the front lines in danger. And far be it from me to tell them, oh, well, they walked to the left instead of walking to the right. Oh, you know, well, they got hurt. They shouldn't have threw bottles. First thing, there were protests, and then there were riots. Now, I know people want to categorize riots as like, oh, black people are just going crazy. You get it. But that's not the case either, because they're not particularly rioting for no reason. So to act as if people are just got up on a Tuesday and decided, oh, well, I'm just going to set stuff on fire, is misguided, and you know it. Along with that, inside of these protests, we're already seeing police officers inciting stuff on their own to keep the flame going. So you have that as well. So acting as if, you're some blameless dove is frustrating when you know good and well that people are not out here protesting for nothing. And yeah, Solar Gray said we rioted for the same reasons in 92. So with that said, getting on to the police officer is touching on that now, we got to be aware that they're trying to co-opt, our protests. Like you got, there was some lady talking about the Federal Reserve and burning flags and stuff. And it's like, what the Federal Reserve got to do? Right now, we are talking about police killing black people.
Yeah, you're trying to
Don't
infiltrate
come in here.
Yeah, you're trying to infiltrate, what we have going on with your own issues.
Yeah. And speaking to that, Governor Newsom, or is it Mayor Newsom? Governor Newsom? Governor Newsom. Today, he started off talking about George Floyd, and then kind of like moves and maneuvers to like COVID-19 and like Asian people going through things and like, Latino. And I'm like, look, make a separate speech. Don't try to like add and conflate and share this with another issue.
That was Mayor Garcetti.
Mayor Garcetti. Stop trying to like conflate and, no. All right. Make a separate speech. Have a COVID speech and have a George Floyd speech. And also when it comes to, and Garcetti isn't the only one doing this. This is happening everywhere because it's universal mind control to try to get you in a certain zone. We need to work together. All of us need to be whatever, or we need to share and we need to help each other.
Here it is. We all need to do better.
Oh, we all need to be. No, we don't all need to be doing better.
What do we do?
Where are all these police that are getting killed in the streets from black people? Oh, none? So we don't all need to be doing better. No. White supremacy needs to be broken down to its knees. And the police need to be reformed from ground zero. There ain't nothing we? What are we? What are we doing? We need to do better.
I didn't take an oath to serve and protect nobody.
Thank you. You took an oath. And do not try to equate your violence with citizen violence. Oh, it's black on black crime. Well, people usually commit crimes of proximity. So black people usually live around black people. Asian people usually live around Asian people. White people. I don't know, Colombian with Colombian, whatever. So yes, I see. So you can miss me with this whole black on black crime thing.
And that's a separate issue.
Unless you want to say that you want the same penalties as a private citizen. Because if you want the same penalties as a private citizen, that means that you need to have the same powers as a private citizen. Which you need to take off that vest, take off that badge, take off that suit and uniform. You can't have it both ways. Either you want the power and the prestige and the respectability and all that. Well, guess what comes with it? You have a higher set of standards to live and operate by. But if you don't want it, that's fine. Get rid of the suit, get rid of the badge, get all that. But you can't have it both ways.
But the problem is, They are having it both ways because the powers that be have now lowered the standards. So their standards that they're held to are actually lower than the standards that we as citizens are held to. They can murder people and get away with it. What citizen can do that? When it's on video.
Stay lying in reports.
When it's on
Official
video.
documents, stay lying. Nobody fired.
Planting weapons and drugs on people on video.
All the time. Nobody fired.
No.
If I plant some cocaine on somebody at my job, I'm probably getting fired.
And that's the other thing.
Solar Gray says we aren't citizens, so I see where you're going on that, Solar.
And the other thing is we don't need to be impressed by anybody getting fired, because the thing is when you commit a crime, you go to jail. You can assume, you may as well assume your job is gone. So it's not a process of you being fired. That's part of you being arrested. That's part of you going to jail. I'm pretty confident in saying when you come out, your job is
gone.
So that doesn't mean anything.
I think what surprised them is that they thought arresting him would be enough. And I'm glad we haven't stopped. And I know George Floyd's family. Yes, I get you. I know George Floyd's family has been on some, oh well guys, let's pump the brakes a little bit. Let's be cool. Don't worry about the family. The family is going through their own trauma. Of course they're gonna respond a certain way due to their trauma. That was their brother, their husband, their friend, their sister, not sister, cousin, whatever. Y'all keep that pressure on. Yes, Eon 001. We didn't see it confirmed that they had worked together. We saw it said, but I didn't want to say it for real until it was like super confirmed. No. You gotta say.
I didn't see it on a source.
Yeah, so we didn't want to like jump out and say that. Solar Gray says, if a construction worker kills somebody on the job, they get fired.
Yeah.
So then
thank you, Solar. No, we can't all get along. So don't ask that. Well, the thing is, like, don't ask me that.
Yeah, don't ask me.
Don't bust me in the head.
Yeah, we ain't killing
nobody.
We
get along?
No, we ain't killing nobody.
And the thing is, no, I can't get along with somebody that's busting me in the head.
So we ain't killing nobody. We good. So I wanna talk about also this police. Okay, because I've said this before, and I've seen some other people say it, talking about good police, we're the good guys, and blah blah blah. And now we've seen some police coming out being like, yo, this ain't the way, this ain't what we do. And I've leveraged the argument that there aren't any good police, and I've gotten a lot of pushback. I've gone to church with police officers that have hated me saying that. And I've leveraged that statement. Here's why. Solar Gray. I know Solar personally. Solar Gray in the chat. Solar Gray, you and I together. We chilling. We kicking it. You kill somebody. I know about it. I say nothing. I become an accessory. They want to charge me. They want to put some of the fault on me. Correct? I'm a private citizen. I ain't made no oath to nobody. Now, officer or officers see or know of officers out there beating up people, raping people, putting drugs on people, killing people, and say nothing. But they get to be good cops? Don't work like that. It don't work like that. Now, will I say that you are as bad as the other guy? Maybe not. But actually, maybe the argument could be made is that you're a worse cop, because now you're allowing him to continue to operate. With your knowledge and the other people's knowledge, maybe you could go to the chief, general, whatever, sergeant, and get that person fired or try to prosecute it. And then maybe clean up your department. But you don't. You allow the cancer to fester in your own city. So, will I say that there are any good cops? Until we see cops out there on the front lines, until we see cops in courtrooms speaking against their brethren, until we see, no, there's varying degrees of bad. You might be a little bit bad, or you might be a horrible, evil man that puts his knee on someone's neck and watches them die. But I would submit to you that there are no good cops. There's no white hats out there. There's no white suited cowboy to come and save you and the people from the bad guys out there. There's varying degrees of silent complicity, or there's varying degrees of bribes and payoffs and rubbing each other or scratching each other's backs. But I would submit to you that there's no truly good, and when I say good, I know there'd be like, yo, I ain't did nothing, man. Let's be for real. We all either worked somewhere or have had a job before. You know good and well you done heard that such and such be cheating on the numbers or stealing paper from the copy room you know, but you don't say nothing. Well, guess what? The stakes are higher when people are being locked up for life, and people are being essentially killed over this person and their misuse of their power. So, with that said, you can't stand up in front of my face and be like, "Oh, nah, man, I'm a good cop. Look at me. I'm cool. I'm playing basketball with the kids. See? Oh, look at me. I'm crip walking, guys. I'm a good cop. I'm relatable." I submit to you that there's no truly good in the way that we consider good. In the way that we consider good, in the way that we're considered good of like a Superman or a Captain America. In that way. Now, Solar Gray says Chauvin, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Chauvin was off-duty police for almost the entirety of the 17 years that we were open. They were working together at the same time. Source NPR. Oh, so they were working together and they did know each other. And once again, that goes back to my theory of all these people mysteriously dying. Botham Jean, Tatiana Jefferson, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. All of these people, there's something funny behind it. Once you figure out, like, yo, how Botham Jean was just in his house. How you down like that? How you just kicking your own house? Something ain't right. Or the young lady, Tatiana Jefferson, get killed playing with her nephew. How does that happen? How are you just in the backyard and just happen to shoot somebody through the window? How does that happen? It has always been a nagging feeling in the back of my mind that these people are targeted somehow. There's something between them somehow. Something's going on because it's just the killings are just getting like increasingly like almost comical now. It's like, all right, so you were in the backyard, why? So you didn't announce yourself, you just shot her from the backyard. So all right, Botham Jean, all right. Just kicked in the door. You said that you noticed that it wasn't looking the same, and it smelled weird. You don't know what your apartment looked like, but you're supposed to be the star cop that just got promoted to this special task force. Really? So you a super cop, but you a dumb cop. Then you got Breonna Taylor, no knock warrant, just coming in and shoot. And now we've heard reports from other people saying bullets was flying everywhere. So they was just shooting because they were in an apartment complex, or apartment was a building complex. Or a complex. Apartment building.
I don't know. I know they were.
So an apartment building. So now bullets are just flying everywhere. Who knows who they could have killed? I submit to you that even with this George Floyd thing, something ain't right. Ain't passing the smell test. And in many of these cases, unfortunately, thank God for video, because do you know how many George Floyds are out there that we'll never know about, that some police department will just get away with? I mean, shoot, they almost got away with Ahmaud Arbery. Man was killed in the street.
Well, they may still get away
They
with it.
ran them down and trapped them in the middle of the street. Killed them.
They've been arrested. It's yet to see whether they get away with it or not.
Yeah, and Tay 2020, shout out to you, says, I agree with you, NERDSoul. I think these people are targeted, and the frequency of the killing is becoming too normal. Solar Gray said they've been charged with third-degree murder and manslaughter. This means the DA does not have to prove malicious intent or premeditation. So I guess in that case, it's an easier charge to convict them on, but then it's... you know...
We've come to the point of not expecting
an EMT approached them and said, dude, check. He didn't even have the decency to check his pulse.
For what? For what? He didn't care. You check it.
It's murder one. But I guess we have to take murder in third degree for right now, but keep that pressure going. Keep that pressure going. And I'll say this to anybody in your district, whatever. If there's a black person in your district and they want your vote, make it known. Tweet to them, Facebook to them, whatever, Instagram, whatever. Be like, what you doing about this? What you doing about the police? What you doing about George Floyd? And if they say anything about this ain't the way, violence ain't the way, get them out. Because they were never for you anyway. They were agents for white supremacy. I love you guys. And I really wanted to have a cool show. I truly did. I wanted to have a laid back show. I know we always have bad news. I really wanted to have a good show. Get some rest tonight, because we got more fighting to do. With that said, Lisa, say what's up.
Bye, y'all.
To the chat, Boogsworthy, Solar Gray, Markeith Collins, Alan Lewis, Eon 001, VV in the house. I'm pretty sure I'm missing somebody. Tay 2020. Dang, if I forgot your name, please forgive me. Moana McAdams, I see you. Let's see who else. Kibi 23, what up? What up? Nice to see you. Shot by Nolan in the house. Thanks for rolling through. It's good to see y'all, and I hope y'all are staying safe. We got the pandemic to deal with, and we got this to deal with. I can understand the feeling of dread just leaving your home. But I submit to you that there are those out there fighting so that you don't have to be scared to leave your home no more. And those people deserve, I'm not talking about the bad actors that's out there trying to fake bottle throwing and fake setting stuff on fire. But the black people that are out there on the front lines, marching, fighting, protesting, all that stuff, they need our energy, y'all. They need our love, our respect, our passion. And we can't leave them out there. And we need to not gatekeep them and tell them how to protest, but we need to tell them to keep that pressure on. And now it's time to put pressure on our lawmakers to see what they're going to do. You know what I'm saying? For real. So with that said, guys, love all y'all. Thank y'all for rolling through. I know. I got Thank y'all for coming through. Don't forget, tomorrow we have the rent party. I promise it'll be fun. I know this has been a tough show. It's been a long show. But I promise you it'll be fun. Hip hop, comics, black goodness, all that. And just shout out to Jason Reeves of 133 Art, Quinn McGowan of Legends Press, who came together. We came together like a team, put this thing on for tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. Solar Gray will be there, so that'll be cool. Let's see. Last comment I'll read. DeAndre Mosley says, anyone who is arrested for allegedly assaulting an officer, we need to support them. Yeah, because we don't even know with all these fake claims of resisting arrest. You know what I'm saying? And I will say I'm glad that we came out and supported Kenneth Walker on his GoFundMe. We need to continue because we do need a defense relief fund or a defense fund or a lawyer fund, something of some kind of way. Because when stuff comes like this, usually due to the fact that we've been locked out of generational wealth and we are kind of starting behind the 8 ball, we need to come together, put our pennies together and help each other out. So with that said, love all you guys, NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all in places. If you like what you were hearing, if you like what you were seeing, hit that thumbs up. If you don't, hit that thumbs down. I guess I'll figure I know why. Oh snap, Jamal Lee. Jamal Lee with the super chat super late. Yo, Jamal Lee. Yo, yeah. Anyway, Jamal Lee, thank you for rolling through. Thanks so much for the super chat. It really helps. Guys, support any way you can. If it's money on the Patreon, if it's money in super chat, support. If it's hitting that like button, support. If it's leaving a comment, support. If it's sharing this, blasting out to your friends, your cousins, uncle, your mama too, support. Because it all helps. Thank you very much. See you guys tomorrow for the rent party for some fun. We will not drag y'all down. We're going to have fun tomorrow. I promise y'all. Stay safe. Please stay safe. And we will see y'all tomorrow. And then, of course, next week. Till then, us to you. Peace. 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 A peace. Peace. You ready to roll? Yeah. All right. Say peace. Peace. All right, we out, y'all.